So if your thoughts and emotions are poking you, strangling you, torturing you every day, aren't you sick, I'm asking?
Namaste, world raisers, welcome back. Today we're going to watch The Symptoms of an Ill Mind by Sadhguru.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. Mental illness is very widespread these days, so let's dive right into it and find out what the great Satguru has to teach us all about it.
Sadhguru, Namaskaram. You mentioned in your previous discourses that 30% of the illnesses are body, while the rest are mind-created. I just want to know, in case you do get an illness, how do you know that it's mind-created or it's of the body? And in case it's psychosomatic in nature, what would be the emotional and the thought pattern that's behind it? How would you find that out and correct it if possible? Thank you.
Suppose your right hand gets up and does funny things and smashes you, pokes your eyes, do you have an ailment or no? Yes, isn't it? For sure you have. That's exactly what your mind is doing, isn't it? It gets up, pops around, hurts you, pokes you, makes you cry, makes you suffer. Do you have an ailment or no? If your hand started poking at you, hitting you, beating you up, definitely you are sick, isn't it? Yes. So if your thoughts and emotions are poking you, strangling you, torturing you every day, aren't you sick, I'm asking? By your own definition I'm going. So, because this sickness is on, it will manifest in so many ways in the physical body. There is no question anymore. Every thought, every reverberation on the level of the mind, depending upon the type of reverberation you create, the whole chemistry is going through a change. It's all been measured. Right now you sit here and think about tigers, you have one kind of chemistry, chemical changes happen. You think about flowers, another kind of chemical change happens. All this has been measured. So for every thought, if the whole chemistry is going through thing, if your mind is in this state, you know what kind of soup you're making? You're a lousy soup. Not just lousy, poisonous. If you are soaked in this poisonous soup on a daily basis, how to know well-being? It'll not happen like that. We don't have so much control today in the world as to what we eat, what we drink, what we breathe, all of it is somewhat poisoned. Modern societies have started treating disease, ailment as a natural process, which is a serious mistake.
Yeah.
Ancient societies always saw disease as something wrong. That's not how a man should be. A human being should not be in any state of illness, because illness means something fundamentally wrong. But modern societies have started treating this as normal, because there's an industry which thrives on you, very major industry. The second largest industry on the planet is pharmaceuticals. So, if the second largest industry on the planet is pharmaceuticals, there's too much lousy soup, isn't it? Every day you have to add something to this to make it… No. If you're willing, we can make this into a very wonderful soup. The chemistry is in a fantastic state. To be blissful is natural.
Yes.
If you do this, believe me, 70% of the ailments will vanish from the planet. Another 30%, there are many external influences which are not always in control. You cannot control that, only to some extent. So, if you're constantly creating a nasty chemistry within you, how is life within you supposed to understand you're seeking well-being? How? It's just unfair. Life Vishnu thinks he likes ailments and gives it to you. Yes? If you're poisoning your system from within, for which there is substantial proof, for every thought and emotion, the chemical composition of your body is changing, if you're creating poison from within you and you want to live well, how is it? Life doesn't work like that. Unless you do right things will not happen to you.
Boom.
Fantastic. Once again, the great Satguru blowing my mind with this profound wisdom, everyday, practical advice and teachings that… So yeah, basically what I get from this is that he is saying that a lot of the ailments within the body are due to the mind. And there's a lot of spiritual teachers that teach this as well, right? So the mind, consciousness, is prior to form, right? And there's that interrelatedness of the body, the mind, and spirit, right? So yeah, if you're going to have poisonous, negative, angry, hateful, hurtful, shame and guilt and these lower levels of consciousness, and if your mind is always in those states, then of course the body is going to be affected and it's going to manifest, disease, unease. There was some show, I can't remember what it was, a while ago that we watched that talked about, disease, is the first part of healing because it shows you that there's something wrong. So in the olden days, back before it was normal to be in sickness and disease, before that was a normal thing, it was like, oh, somebody is having disease, not at ease, ill health. So means there's something wrong. What do we do? And then you find out, okay, well, what's the matter? What's the cause? And then you treat the cause, not the symptoms. But yeah, so I think that's what he's getting at. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any other information to add to this discussion. But that's kind of how I see it. So excellent advice. We got to be the guardians of our mind. Yeah, it might have actually been Tony Robbins in one of his talks. We watch him quite a bit. We did some UPW events this year during lockdown, kept us busy and motivated and pumped. So we love Tony Robbins. And yeah, he was saying that the illness, it used to be that the illness was the cure. Like, it's hard to think about, but if you know that you're ill, it means something's wrong, and then you can investigate and begin the curing process. So if the body wasn't telling you that something was wrong, then how would you know that you needed to fix something? So mental process, you got to keep the mind pure and positive, especially in these times. We got to, meditate and contemplate and get into those high bliss bodies that Satguru's talking about. So that's where I'm going. Coming with me or what?
You betcha.
Oh, yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, if you're a fan of Satguru, hit that like button. And of course, subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. And leave a comment down below. If there's anything that we're missing, if you want to add to the discussion, any more tidbits and information, just add them in the comments below. We love hearing your comments. And thank you once again for joining us. And remember, raise yourself
and raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone. And a very special thank you to all our members. We love you.
Peace.